Hey everyone, Ben with Postfly here. This month's saltwater tie is the Squid Seeker. From striped bass to tuna, squid are an important food source. This pattern imitates a healthy meal that's sure to turn some heads subsurface. Start by tying in your thread behind the hook eye and laying a base down to just above the hook point. The first material for our tail or tentacles are 4 brown hackle feathers. Measure them so that they extend 3 or 4 shank lengths off of where you stopped your thread, and prep them for this length by stripping off the fuzzier fibers at the feather's base. Use this barra point to tie in, lashing down the excess with tight wraps. Repeat with 3 other feathers so that there's a good coverage on the upper half of the hook shank. We'll build up our body with some white bucktail. Cut and measure a sparse clump so that it reaches about 1/3 of the way down your tail, and tie in loosely. Manipulate so that the fibers are evenly distributed 360 degrees around the shank, then take tighter wraps to tie in. When your bucktail is secured, cut any tag end short with your scissors. Our squid eyes are made with these reflective eyes and a short strand of thick monofilament. To build them, lay the tip of the mono on the back side of the eye, cover this connection with UV resin, and cure. You can use superglue for this too if you like, but UV is cleaner and quicker. Repeat this process with the second eye, then tie the 2 pieces in one at a time behind your bucktail. The actual eye portion should hover on either side of the tail about where your bucktail ends. Tie down these mono stalks well, then snip the excess with your scissors or nail clippers. These thinner, barred hackle feathers will add some depth and color to our pattern. Prep them how you did the brown hackle by pulling off the fuzzier fibers at the butt, then transfer them to the shank in the same dimensions as you did your first hackles. Repeat on both sides of the squid. The last step for this tentacle section is to add some flash. Take 8 or 10 strands, line them up, and tie in at their midpoint. Then take the front-facing strands and fold them around to the other side of the shank, spreading them out so that they cover as large of an area as possible. Take more tight wraps to lock both ends in facing backwards. Cover this whole tie-down section with another thread base. This is more of an aesthetic step here, but it will add a little bit more protection to the butt ends of the materials we just added. You can also add some superglue here if you'd like. Next, grab a bushy brown marabou feather. Tie it in tip first about the shank's halfway point, then take a few open wraps with your thread towards the eye. Begin wrapping the marabou forward towards your bobbin, taking care to brush the fibers rearward with every turn. It's easy for this material to get matted down if you're not careful, so work slowly and keep an eye on each wrap. When you've reached your thread, tie off and snip the excess. Brush all the fibers back and take a few wraps towards the bend to get everything facing the same direction. I'll even hit it quickly with the brush to free any more trapped fibers. This will all help make a nice tapered body and make room to pack in even more marabou. Now go to your smaller pink marabou. Repeat the same tie-in process as you did with your brown, advance your thread, then start wrapping up again to meet it. Once again, tie off and wrap backwards to mix it in with your brown. Tie in another marabou feather. You could even use the remainder butt section from your last one if you'd like to save materials. Repeat the same process you did for your first 2 marabou feathers, this time ending pretty much behind the hook eye. Tie this last section back to give yourself a little room for the final steps. I like to shape the head a bit more here with just 1 more brown hackle feather. Tie it in tip first this time, advance your thread, then take a few close wraps to form a little collar. Tie off and snip the excess, leaving a short hook eye width gap between the last materials and the front of your fly. Make a nice even thread base section here. Grab your whip finisher and make a few turns behind the hook eye, then snip your thread. Go back to your UV resin and put on a light coating around this section before curing. The Squid Seeker is chock full of pulsing materials and attractive flashy colors. I really like fishing this one slowly, hovering the fly in a light current and letting the marabou and hackle move naturally. As a squid imitation, the pattern can especially be effective at night, when the prey it mimics are more active and the fish are more keyed into their presence. Thanks for watching.